We'll now introduce Rebekah. What are we afraid of? I'm afraid of technology, that's for sure.
My answer to this question is this right now. This is what I'm afraid of. So I'm kind of done. I wanted to just tell you a little bit of my journey as a teacher and how that applies to us, all of us in the room, because we all have journeys as teachers. My first international school was a large public high school outside Washington, D.C. It looked like a stereotypical American high school. It had no intent of being an international school. It didn't talk about globalism. It didn't talk about global connections. But it was an international school. Our kids came from all over the world. If you looked beyond the band geeks and the prom and the pep rallies where we celebrate our athletes and the 2,000 kids moving from class to class, you would realize we were an international school. Our kids were coming from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Colombia, Eritrea, Ivory Coast. This was an international school. And so, we had kids from 42 different countries speaking 34 different languages. It was diverse in every way you could have imagined. We had every kid who walked up to our door, no matter when in the year it was welcomed. From the kid who was a nonverbal autistic kid to the kid who was an IB diploma kid. This is where I grew as a teacher. Our homecoming king was Asad Ali. Our senior class president was Amy Nam. Our valedictorians were Amanda Bakovic and Lynn Lee. I actually got those names on Facebook. I put a little Facebook, I said, can you guys remember? And they all got back to me. It was an amazing place to grow as a teacher. But it was high stakes. Our parents, a mix of longtime Virginians and recent immigrants, weren't always sure how to support their kids. So they depended on us to care for them. That was high stakes. We had exams that our kids had to pass regardless of language ability, or we'd lose funding, reputations, or jobs. That was high stakes. We had kids who didn't know how to get to college but wanted to. That was high stakes. And we had kids who were IB diploma candidates, worked a part-time job, was a starter on the football team, and helped take care of their little brother or sister. That was high stakes. And after 5 years there, with the restless spirit of a third culture kid, I am worn down by the exams and the time it was taking from teaching and learning. I became a real international school teacher, whatever that might mean. And I think it would be a long time until I reached a school that was as diverse as Lee High School. So that's where I started as a teacher. And I was probably pretty traditional. I was scared to make a mistake because things were so high stakes. I was scared that if I disrespected a kid, that it would change the tone forever. I was scared that if I didn't teach the test the correct way, they wouldn't get the college credit they needed so that they could pay for college. And so I don't apologize for a single chalk and talk lecture. I don't apologize for a single bad test because it all came from a good place and a good heart and good intent and hard work. But when I became an international school teacher, starting at Munich International, and then moving on to Yokohama International, where I now work, I grew as a teacher in ways I can't even imagine. I get to write curriculum. That's crazy that someone trusts me to teach curriculum. Like, who does that? You know? That's not something I could have done before. Like, I think Jamise tweeted out something like, if you find the curriculum limiting, change it. That's a miracle, that's a possibility where we work. And every time I write a unit plan, no matter how annoying it is, I remember that's a miracle that I can do that. If my kids from Lee High School showed up in my classroom today, they would recognize my passion for teaching. They would recognize how much I love my kids. They wouldn't recognize the fact that they can sit on the floor and learn, that they can turn in work late. I don't care when they turn it in, I just care that they've learned something. They wouldn't recognize the different assessment strategies I use with my DP kids, that it's not always about past papers and making sure we're hitting the criteria. I've grown and changed because of this, things like this. Even just the chance to watch a kindergarten kid learn. I didn't do that before. I do that now, and that changes my teaching as a high school teacher. Our kids have safety nets. We are all worried about the exact same kid. We all celebrate the exact same kid because we taught them, we'll teach them, they're our neighbors and they're our friends. They are okay when we make mistakes. So we experiment and try with something new. We try a new tool, we try a new teaching method, and we do that because we're a safe space, and our kids are okay. They will be okay, I promise. They will get the grades, they will be more than numbers and statistics. I want this change to happen, not just for my students at Yokohama International School, and not just for you. We are the vanguard of these changes. We keep trying. We go to that teacher who sits in the corner of the teacher's lounge and doesn't want to change anymore, one more time. Because once they had an ability to take a risk to move to a new country and start something new, they have the heart of a risk taker, even that guy in the corner. We go to our parents and say, yes, this is something new. They will thrive, I promise. I know you're scared because you've taken your kids across an ocean, across a continent. They're going to be okay because they're doing something different than you. It used to be that international schools were the Wild West, not connected, doing their own thing, not writing curriculum. That's not who we are anymore. We are no longer oases in the craziness of whatever country it is we live in. We are no longer the safe spots. We are the ones that are moving things, not just in our school, not just at Yokohama International School, not just at your school, but we are going to be changing things for my kids at Lee High School. We are all connected, and this is where the change continues. Keep trying new things. Our kids deserve it. There's nothing to be afraid of. We got your back. We're good to go. The kids are okay. Let's do something for them. Thank you.